When there is a loss like that, when someone decides that they can't do it anymore, the reaction of distant relatives, those out of the circle most immediately, can be to think the family had something to do, that the family could have prevented it. It happened to us. Suddenly we saw each other more alone than ever. My mom's family practically stopped worrying about us from the funeral. My mom never told them everything that was happening. And let's be realistic, seriously, think about it for a moment, and answer with all sincerity. Would you do it? Would you ask for help because there is a spirit tormenting you at home? In that loneliness, the thing with the appearance of a girl seemed to strengthen. It began to look like my sister, who became her favorite person to bother. Somehow, that presence checked my sister's things. We returned from lunch from my father's friend's house and found my sister's diary open, letters and memories scattered throughout the house. In my dad's room there was one of his dolls. Things that had been well stored in my sister's closet had been pulled out, tipped over, and appeared dirty all around the house. My sister cried desperately while we helped her rearrange everything. Then my dad went downstairs for a broom and a pickaxe to lift some crystals. When he came back, he was pale. He returned holding a First Communion dress between his arms. In the darkness of the room, he said he had seen the dress floating, standing there, as if someone barely invisible had put it on. But when the light was turned on, the dress was already on the floor. There was a penetrating, horrible, disgusting smell of rot. I want to clarify something. Changing our home is something we cannot afford. It's not even up for discussion, especially because this is my mother's house, the house where we grew up, and we are not going to leave it because that thing decided to live here. It won't win. Pray, bless, clean the house. My sister and my mom had already noticed it. When they were too scared and started praying, it seemed to amuse them. It seemed to take advantage of them, like it was making fun of them. Even though we never thought it would solve anything, my dad spoke to a priest, a very close friend of my mother's family. He agreed to come bless the house. Obviously, my dad didn't explain what was going on in a clear way. I guess the priest thought it was more about grieving a loved one in the place where he decided to take his life. He came accompanied by an old woman, Doña Carmen, who helped him with the church work. He walked around the house throwing blessings in Spanish, some in Latin, and then he left. That same night, already very late, really late, someone knocked on the door. We were surprised to see it was about Doña Carmen. She asked us to come over. We invited her for coffee. She asked us to be honest and tell her what was actually happening at home. I think it was the first time we were really honest with someone outside the family. The first time we told it all. Mrs. Carmen inspired so much confidence in us that we ended up in tears, telling her absolutely everything. The girl didn't stop laughing. At 3 a.m, the old woman left for her house. Even though my father offered to take her, she refused. You have to be strong and take care of each other more than ever, he told us. The next morning he returned with holy water, religious figures, and a very old man who carried a calm we really needed. He was a retired priest, and Doña Carmen had put him aware of the situation. The Lord was concerned, he said, that this thing he had seen in my house could have physically stopped the door that day, while my mother was agonizing. I have seen too many things in my life, and many of them I still do not understand, he told us. I believe in God, and I have seen the devil. And among us there are many beings who escaped from hell. He stayed all day. We left for a large part of the afternoon and returned at night. He was still there, already exhausted. He told us that at that point he already lacked the strength to face it again. Still, he promised to return to the house every month, to bless it, to try to free it from those forces, from those things, as many times as necessary. Yes, 3 days we were at peace. 3 days, until the others arrived. We tried to leave as long as possible. We even visited friends of my father, people we hadn't seen in years, some whom I'm sure he didn't even get along with very well. And on one of those visits, my dad received a call. It was a neighbor. Something was happening in the house. I got a WhatsApp message from my uncle Jose Antonio, my mother's brother, who has a small restaurant a few blocks from my house. He asked us to go there immediately. When we got home, we found what seemed to be all the neighbors outside our house. The doors were open, all the lights were on, and shadows were walking through the windows. A few hours before, horrible screams began coming out of our house, desperate screams of pain, and others of laughter, full of vulgarities. The neighbors came closer, but no one dared to enter. Someone called the police. One neighbor ran only to my uncle's restaurant to tell him that something was happening to us. Or at least that's what they thought. When he arrived and heard the screams, he broke one of the windows and entered. He got lost in the darkness while the neighbors watched from outside. The screams quieted shortly after, but he didn't come out. Minutes later, 2 patrols of the municipal police arrived. Alarmed by the neighbors, they forced the door to enter. They found my uncle unconscious and gave him first aid. When we arrived, the neighbors were wandering around the small entrance of the garden, and my uncle was getting attention in an ambulance. The shadows we saw through the windows were at least 3 agents who checked the whole house from top to bottom. When we saw each other, my uncle approached us and hugged us like he hadn't done it in a long time. He hugged us hard and told us he came to look for us. And the house was much darker than normal. Even on a full moon night, absolutely nothing could be seen inside. The lights wouldn't turn on. I ran to the 2nd floor, where the screams had come from. There, right at the entrance to my grandmother's room, lit only by the light from the window at the end of the corridor, was a girl with an old face, smiling ear to ear. She was holding a very tall woman, a naked woman with skin falling off her body. He couldn't believe what he saw. He tried to turn on the lamp on his phone. By the time he did it, no one was visible at the doorway. He tried to run down, but something hit him in the stomach. He had run into something. Even though it was right in front of him, he couldn't see it. The darkness was like his eyes were closed. He thought it was a piece of furniture and extended his hands to touch it. He touched it, wet, hard. He felt some hairs on it, and skin falling against his fingers. Something laughed, and he felt the girl's laughter in his hands while he held her head. The next thing he knew, the next thing he saw, was a policeman trying to cheer him up. I had never seen him like that, not even at my mom's funeral. My uncle was crying while he told us what happened, like a child. My dad asked him, in the face of those screams, what the hell had made him enter our dark house to look for us instead of waiting for the police. He came in, he said, because one of the voices that was screaming was my mother's.